Hello, everybody. This is a Chicken Science Robot Siesta Club Field Report. I'm Thrax Magus Maxis, and I had some thoughts about all of this blue talk going on and people not being able to see blue. If the sky gave you your inside voice back, humans couldn't describe the color blue until fairly recently. That's a documented thing. Homer wrote about the wine dark sea, whatever that is. The Egyptians had a word for it, but it's only because they manufactured it. It's called lapis lazuli. It's a synthetic pigment. They made blue. They didn't point at the sky and go, blue, sky blue. They pointed at the ground and crushed it up and went, blue, lapis lazuli. So there's a big difference. But then I had a thought. I was like, well, what if the sky wasn't blue? What if the sky didn't let blue in? What if there was something going on? Volcanic debris loads the atmosphere and shifts spectral output towards warm tones of like red, orange, and yellow. Krakatoa did it for years. Tambora did it for years. The year without a summer, 1816, people across Europe documented like weird orange skies for like the whole year. Now go back further to like the Toba supervolcano from 74,000 years ago. Current best estimate is it nearly wiped us out. Genetic bottleneck evidence suggests that human population may have dropped to a few thousand individuals. And the atmospheric debris from an event like that would probably, maybe, potentially be centuries. I don't know. This is just a guess, right? So you've got volcanic and impact debris landing in the atmosphere, warm sky, ash columns, no real reliable blue even making it to the ground. And simultaneously, Homo sapiens and Neanderthals are in active conflict. Like at the same time, the sky's orange and we're fighting with these great big monster things. So what are we going to do? Archaeology says we went into the caves. Travel groups are sheltering caves for protection now. You're underground or deep in shade for generations just trying to stay alive. Double stacked blue deprivation. So now the sky is like orange and you are watching fires all the time. Your entire perceptual norm is warm tone, dim, firelit orange. Blue is basically not a thing. No wonder there wasn't even this conception of it, right? Then slowly, very, very slowly, the atmosphere starts to clear. Now here's where it gets a little bit stretchy. I'm going to need you to stay with me. There's a hypothesis by Julian Jaynes, 1976, called the Bicameral Mind. I think I said it right. The idea that early humans perceived their own internal voice as an external source, like gods, like as a divine command, because the brain hemispheres weren't integrated enough to recognize the voice as self. You heard a voice, the voice told you what to do, you did it. Thanks, gods. You didn't think that's me thinking. You thought, oh, that's a god talking to me. Ooh, I better do it. Take that concept, the bicameral mind, and throw it back all the way to cavemen. Now we're considering cave survival brains, hypervigilant, constantly threat modeling, running high-cost survival loops around the clock, like totally non-stop. Tribal conflict above you, debris sky above that, dark and close, loud with danger all the time. The internal command voice in that environment would be screaming, because it has to be. They're trying to stay alive. The God voice in that situations, I think, would be really, really loud. I want to live too. Then the debris clears. Slowly, blue starts hitting the atmosphere reliably for the first time in maybe centuries, maybe longer. You come out of the sky, the cave is open, the threat pressure drops, the survival loops quiet down, and there's the thing about stress hormones and hypervigilance. When they drop, the internal voice gets quieter too. It does. Maybe for the first time you can hear that it's yours. God doesn't have to leave. The meat just finally gets connected enough to recognize the voice as its own. And then, around 40,000 to 45,000 years ago, art suddenly explodes. The Luscal, the Altamara, the symbolic representation, ochre handprints on cave walls. Archaeologists still call it the creative explosion, and they argue constantly about why it happened so fast. It's abrupt, like weirdly abrupt. All of a sudden, boom, there's cave paintings and art and stuff everywhere, spread all around the place. It's all of a sudden like something switched. What if it was the sky that switched? What if clear atmosphere meant reduced survival load, meant quieter internal command voice, meant the first moment a human looked at their hand and thought, oh, oh, that's my hand, bro. That's my hand right there. That's mine. I did that. I made something. Dude. I think you might also be able to tie this to language acceleration. Symbolic thought and complex language seem to co-emerge in roughly the same window. Naming things requires a self that is separate from the thing that is being named. You can't point to the sky and say blue if you don't have an eye doing the pointing yet. And the sunset thing. Every ancient civilization describes the sky as warm tones: red, gold, fire, blood. Almost none of them describe daytime sky as primary color reference. They describe what they saw reliably, warm spectrum, because maybe that's what was there. Now, I could be completely wrong with all of this. This is a what if, a very stretchy what if. Then I started thinking about on the bus, but next time you're watching the sunset and it goes all weird and orange and stuff, consider that for a very long stretch of human history, that might have been the default. And the blue sky that you're used to might be a lot newer than we think. And the voice in your head telling you right now that's probably unlikely is also newer than you think. Feel free to leave a comment, have some fun, and rip this through. This has been Thrax Magus Maxis for the Chicken Science Robot Siesta Club Field Report. Oh, some closing thoughts. The red ochre is the oldest known pigment in use for 300,000 plus years. Warm spectrum. They decorated the sky with what they saw as primary color reality. Synesthesia remnant theory. Some researchers think ancient humans may have had less differentiated sensory processing. Sound, color, or feeling may have blended. But cave acoustics were used deliberately. The most resonant spots are where the art is. They heard the walls before they painted them. That's really cool, actually. So that's like when you hear words as colors. No, when you see words as colors. That's actually really heavy. The fire circle is bicameral trigger. Firelight flicker is in the warm spectrum and induces mild altered states and extended exposure. Cave humans spent hours staring at the primary technology that kept them alive. Wow, that's a nightly trance section. Indo-European sky god pattern. Almost every ancient religion has a sky father figure emerging in the post-degree window. Daius, Zeus, Jupiter, Tyr, all sky, all paternal, all above. Like the sky becoming reliably open and blue was a theological event. Anyway, I'm Thrax Magus Maxis. Feel free to comment. Thanks for following along. Bye now.